everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're here for the first time, of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give me a like, go and check out all the other videos. I believe there's plenty that can help you with your training and reaching your goals. Today we're gonna be focusing on exercises that are the most favorite of mine, and of course one of the really effective one to build your lower body, your booty and your legs, of course. I'm gonna show you every single exercise we're gonna be doing today. I'm gonna give you some key points to make sure that your form is right and you get the most out of it, and then we're gonna do the whole set of each exercise together as well. I got 5 exercises ready to show you. We're gonna go over squats, we're gonna go over Bulgarian split squats, we're gonna go over Romanian deadlifts, we're gonna go over hip thrust, and we're gonna also do some step-ups today. So 5 exercises from me to show you. I hope you're ready. I'm ready to let's get into it. Okay guys, let's start with the first one. So as I said before, the first one will be squats. We're gonna use a barbell. Of course, if you're at the gym, you can always use the pre-made barbell or the solid ones that already have a certain weight, especially if you're not going crazy heavy. The barbell on its own, if you haven't known by any chance, they are 20 kilos. So if you're picking up those little barbells, 20 kilos, it's still pretty easy to put over your head if you need to. But if you're gonna aim for something heavier, you definitely want to have a rack and to put when you're putting your plates on it, and of course for safety as well, because certain cages has got a support on the bottom or in the middle. So if you're going really heavy, that's your way to save yourself if anything goes really wrong. But you're not gonna go that far down to the rep range. You're gonna do 10 reps pretty much of everything, because that's the best way for you to see how the exercise works and the movement. So if you're gonna use the barbell, important thing is where you place your feet. So if I'm picking up the barbell, I want to have it sit not on my neck, but just a little bit lower. In some cases, even slightly lower for a lower bar squat. It's important to keep your chest nice and open. So if I'm gonna pick the barbell, just put it over my neck, just walk away. If you're hitting some heavy weight, you want to put your both feet together when you're picking up your weight. So I'm walking away. So what I'm concentrating on is placing my feet at least a hip width or maybe a little bit wider. I want to point my toes a little bit. I might just skip around. It's hard to do with a barbell on my back. So wider hip. I want to point my toes out so I can push my knees a little bit out when I'm moving down. One important thing is we want to go a nice and full range. So we're not going to go past the knee. So we can incorporate our posterior chain as much as possible. One thing I would avoid is definitely this kind of position. So if your squat goes only here, the big problem is that there's a lot of pressure behind your kneecap in that position. So we always want to go lower than that. So coming down under the knee, pushing, keeping your chest nice and up and open, and pushing up. So I'm gonna place my barbell back. Let's put some weight on and let's gonna do a whole set together. Okay, I loaded my barbell. I'm gonna go slightly lighter today, so I'm gonna hit the 50 kilos on my barbell. I'm not sure how much it is in pounds, but we are in Australia, so we're gonna use kilos, so only the metric measurements. We're gonna do 10 squats. Again, reminder with feet a little bit wider, chest nice and up, using both feet when picking up the bar. We're gonna shift to the second exercise. It's gonna be unilateral exercise. What's that mean? We're gonna be working one side at a time. These type of exercises are very important because they help to create a balance between your muscle mass and of course balancing your whole body in general, and including stability in your joints as well. So Bulgarian split squat, sometimes it's called static lunge. We're going to be stepping forward with one foot. We're going to stay in that position and we're going to be dipping down and up. We're going to be also using weight when I show you the exercise, when you're going to do the set together. But as I said, one foot forward. So if I'm going to show you just one side, so I'm placing my foot nice and forward. I want to make sure when I'm coming down that I'm tucking my hips under, so I'm tucking sort of under my tailbone. It's like that position before you start doing crunches. So you tuck your tailbone underneath your body, so your knee is as much under your hips as possible, so we're loading the back leg. The back foot stays on the toes and the heel facing up the ceiling. When we're coming down, we're going to try to make sure that our knee doesn't go forward. There is version for it, but in today's one we're going to be focusing more on the back squat and on the hip and on the glute and on the hamstring. So coming down, one good pointer with this one it is as well, it's not to place your, I'm going to just use this for a second, not to place your foot behind each other. You want to give yourself that little bit of space. Think about your hip bones. So you're going to be stepping a little bit outer, making sure that your knee doesn't buckle in when you're moving down. So think about pushing the knee out. It's not going to physically really happen, but have that feeling when you're coming down, pushing outwards. I'm going to go and grab some weight and we're going to do the exercise together. As I said, with the squats, we're going to continue with the 10 rep range. So I'm going to get 2 dumbbells. Of course, you can just use one if you want to, but I'm going to go and use a whole set today. Exercise number 3. This is probably one of my favorites because even if I'm a little bit sore on a day, it's always a good one to have because it helps to stretch your posterior chain really well and your hamstrings. I just love it. So we're gonna go over Romanian deadlift. I'm gonna use a barbell today for that, but you can use a dumbbell as well. I can't breathe, I don't know why. Probably it's a bit hot in here, but it's okay. I've got my barbell. So key points for the Romanian deadlifts. What is the motion actually looks like? If I show you without the barbell to start with, what I'm doing, I'm gonna be actually bending, hinging my hips back, incorporating all the back of my leg and my glutes to put as much load on that side and lifting back up while holding at the bar. So if I get the bar, to watch all my my dumbbell rack, I mean. Alright, so when I'm holding the bar, I'm holding it about the hip width. So I'm looking where my shoulder sitting up. When I go to the side way, I'm going to roll my shoulders nice and back. Keep the shoulder blades together so I can keep my chest nice and open. I'm going to step a little bit apart with my feet. Not crazy narrow, not crazy wide. I want to really maintain that hip width for my feet as well. When I'm going to be moving down, I'm going to be pushing my hips back, and I'm going to keep my knee just a slightly soft, and I'm going to be moving probably about halfway through my shin. Of course, when you have no plates on there, it's sort of feels like you can go really far, but you want to avoid the rounding in your lower back when you're coming down. So if I'm coming down, hit the barbell as well. So as I said, chest nice and open, shoulder blades together and pushing away. So I'm about halfway, and from this point making sure that I'm really pushing and keeping those shoulder blades together so the barbell doesn't get away from me. There you go. And coming back up. Let me load some weight on it and let's do 10 reps together again. Okay, my barbell is ready. I'm gonna be using 40 kilos today for this one. Of course, you can go heavier if you experience. But we want to make sure that the technique is right. I just realized I didn't tell you how much I was using for the Bulgarian split squat. I used a set of 10 kilo dumbbell. Alright, let's remind ourselves the key point. So slightly, feet slightly apart, not crazy wide, more about a hip part. You want to keep the chest nice and up. Even at the start when we're picking up the barbell, you still don't want to do it this way to protect our back. So making sure that we really squat fully down and pick up the barbell safely. I'm going to adjust a little bit. I'm going to roll my shoulders back. There you go. Make sure my knee's nice and soft, and I'm going to be dipping down halfway into my chin. We are up for exercise number 4, which is hip thrust. I really love hip thrust. I haven't been doing hip thrust for too many years yet, but it will be definitely at least around 5 years or so. Because looking at doing hip thrust, it seems a little intimidating because loading up the bar just feels so crazy. But I got a really great result doing this exercise over the years. I got my PB quite high. But we're not going to be doing my PB weight, of course, today, because I want to make sure you have the technique right. Because if you're not going to grasp the technique at the start really well, it's going to really show over the time, and you can also hurt yourself quite uncomfortably. You can hurt your back, especially. You can create some other issues and create some more tightness in your hips, which will actually stop you from progressing in this exercise. We want to make sure it's right. Today I'm going to be using a bench. I always prefer freestanding hip thrust because you can do it anywhere in the gym necessarily. You can also use a Smith machine. We're going to be using my Smith machine because the bar doesn't unfortunately go low enough for you to get a proper range. So we're going to start with the barbell. Of course we're going to put some weight on. I'll show you without it because it's going to be a little bit easier, a little bit more complicated. With my bench, I'm quite on the shorter side. I'm not very tall and my bench is quite high, but there's many gyms that got the benches couple centimeters lower, and you can also find the special hip thrust benches that are quite common, and they look like a little bench that's got like a little dip in it and little platforms on the side, so you've got that little bit of extra space before you're lifting the barbell as well. But unfortunately I don't own this one, so we're gonna use this as an option. And I'll put my ab mat underneath just to give me a little bit of a boost to get me into the right position. So I'm gonna sit down on there. What I want to do when I'm doing the hip thrust, I want to make sure that I'm in the right position. Scoop a little bit further with my back. That boost will help me to do that. So I'm going to use my elbows to lift myself up. Of course, if you're not doing crazy heavy weight, it is okay to manipulate the bar in the right spot. So I'm going to lift myself up. So my back is about halfway on the bench. I'm going to tuck my chin into my chest just a little bit more. Of course, not blocking my airway, so I'm doing that. I want to look sort of straight ahead. I don't want to necessarily bend my head back. I still want to be nice and supported in my neck when I'm doing the movement. Of course, the bar is going to be all the way here on my hips, so my head's going to be sort of resting. You can sort of use your elbows as well. What we're going to be doing, we're hinging the hips nice and down and pushing all the way up. You can even give it a little bit of a squeeze of your glutes when you're up there. One important thing is the positioning of your feet. You want to be nice and sort of close-ish, so you can create a 90 degrees angle when you're all the way up there. If you're too far back, the engagement shifts much more into your quads. We want to really get all the way here, so we can be nice and closer, so we can push with the heels. You should be able to wiggle your toes when you're up there. So we're going to go low enough without sliding off the bench, of course, and hinging forward your upper body, and then pushing nice and up. There you go. I'm ready to do the hip thrust. Let me just load up the barbell, and we're going to do 10 reps together again. Okay, I've got my barbell loaded up. Today I'm going to be doing just 80 kilos. I actually did a little tester, so I had to remove my booster because my weight plates are just a tiny bit smaller than the bumper plate, so it's really much harder to get underneath, but it's okay. I can get the bar up safely to start the whole set. So let's do 10 reps together again. We are up for the last exercise. So last one, step ups. Really good one to get your glutes burning right at the end of the workout. Today for my step ups, I'm going to be using one of my plyometric boxes. I've got a small one as well, but of course it all depends what skill level you add in terms of how high you want to go with your step ups. This is actually, I feel like, sort of the most optimal that you should aim for. Of course, if you have to go lower, you just have to go lower. You can use also a big foamy plyometric box. There's so many different versions to make it harder and harder, but of course you want to make sure that you ground it enough before you start. The way I want to do the step ups today, we're going to do it unilaterally again, like the Bulgarian split squat. So we're going to do one side at a time. You're going to be stepping and staying on the spot, on the step with one foot. So what I mean by it, you're gonna start here. You're gonna start from the top, and we're gonna be just bringing the other leg a little bit lower, not putting too much weight on it when you land down, and you're coming back up. So stepping down, full weight on the top leg. So giving like a little bit of a top tap and push back up. Of course, important thing is pushing through the middle of your foot and pushing in behind your big toe just to give you the perfect balance. I'm going to use a set of dumbbells for this, but of course you can use just your body weight if you need to. As I said, we're going to be doing one side at a time. We're going to do 10 reps on each. I went reasonably heavy to really challenge myself, so let's see how we go. I picked a set of 8 kilo dumbbells. So I'm going to start with my left leg because that's my more stronger leg. So I might not be wobbly on the other one, but that's the importance of the unilateral training, as I was mentioning earlier. So let's go up. you go guys, this is the 5 exercises I wanted to show you for today. I really have a strong belief that these exercises works really well if you get them right. So if you're gonna do these ones for the first time, really make sure your form is perfect before you start adding on extra weight and really get that resistance nice and up and really build those muscles that you want to build around your hips and your glutes and your hamstrings and your quads and the whole hips and everything. Of course, all the exercises involve engaging your core as well. So when you lift heavy, your core gets engaged much more. So there's no need to do 1,000 sit-ups a week to do that. So if you have lift heavy weights with a proper amount of resistance against to your skills, you will build your core as well. For this workout, if you're gonna follow all the exercises that I show you today, I would recommend you to start with the 3 sets. The most, it will take you maybe 40 to 50 minutes, depends on the time you have, of course, and on the gym setup. I would recommend you maybe to do 2 to 3 exercises together to really utilize your little space when you at the gym. Of course, if you're at home, it's a little bit different, but we want to make sure that we've got some resting time in between. It's not a HIIT workout. We want to really focus on squeezing those muscles, engaging, and really get a feel where the muscles really is under the tension the most, and really pushing those ranges and making them nice and big, especially for the squats. If there's anything that you want to say or you want to ask about this video, of course, leave the comments down below. You can always contact me on my social media as well. I'm happy to chat. There's more content there as well. You can also email me. Of course, if you're interested in any coaching or training, I'm here. My experience is quite extensive. I believe it's been over 10 years since I've been in this business, and I'm really passionate about it. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video with anyone that can help. And what else can I say? I don't think there's anything else I can say. Again, just a big thank you for being here, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.